Statement, please.
Yeah, first of all, it was a lot of fun out there today. I want to thank the fans for coming out. We had our band, cheerleaders. It was awesome atmosphere out there for our guys. Our guys have put a lot of great work in since January, coming back for the semester, and basically finishing up this semester with a really good scrimmage that we had out here today. I thought it was some really outstanding play on both sides of the ball. We had playmakers stepping up and making plays. Really in the spring game for a coach, you want to come out and win is keeping our guys healthy, and we did that. So that's a definite win. And then the next thing was to not have sloppy play, and for our guys to be able to go out there and make plays and have fun, and they were able to do that today. I thought, all the way, from guys that have been here for a long time, 5-year guys, or guys that just got here, I thought there were plays made all over the field. And I thought it was great competition. That's one thing that I think our guys did a great job of all spring was the competitive spirit that they had in every drill that we did. And, so yeah, I was excited about it. We're excited about where we're headed as we head into this summer. Our guys will get a little bit of a break in May. They'll be back here in the middle of May and be ready to go all summer long. They're excited about it. I'll tell you, a good sign is when we brought it up right there, they wanted to put the ball back down and keep playing, like both sides of the ball. That's awesome. You always wanted to come back for more. Always wanted to keep coming back in the building, getting extra stuff, extra work, extra ball, and that's what these guys have right now. And so we got to continue that and have a great summer.
Questions for Coach?
Good.
Yeah.
Seemed like defense came out hot. Maybe got a little strip sack their first play, but felt like the offense settled in. Did you see it the same way too?
Yeah, I think, defensively, they've been a little ahead all spring, and I still think that, as we finished out today. So, I thought our guys on defense have really picked that side of the ball up well. As you think about what we had coming back on the defensive line, because it all starts right there, and, with Corleone, with Briggs, with DG that came in, their dog, he was the one that made the sack there. He's got an extreme high motor all the time. It starts right there, and I think, Dingle and Dorian Jones, both in the inside, have played at a high level there at linebacker, and then DP Pace at the star position. So you think about that front seven, man, it's a solid front seven. They got a lot of speed, tenacity. They can get after the passer. They can cause problems. Just like on that play there, you're able to get in the backfield and potentially get a strip sack. So that's going to enable quarterbacks to have to throw it sooner, and you're going to get interceptions and stuff in the back end. But I think the offense settled in. They started making a few plays down the field. I think we worked some tempo stuff today there and got a little bit of a rhythm there. And I thought Emory on that one drive came down the field and threw a nice touchdown pass there. So, but I do think there was plays made on both sides. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think that first unit of the defense was had an impressive spring.
I think all 4 quarterbacks led touchdown drives. Is that important? Is that something that you guys are tracking?
Absolutely. We track everything that these quarterbacks have been doing. We knew that quarterback race was going to be highly contested. To their credit, man, they have been great. Their attitudes have been awesome. They come to work every day. They've tried to inspire each other and help each other. They're coaching each other. Those are things that you want to see because it's going to make them all better. And just like we saw today, the guys come in, they're making plays and having fun doing it. So, Drogosh live today, it was awesome to see. He wanted that. He wanted to be able to come out and do that. He needs that in his development. He's going to be a really good football player. What he brings to the table, being able to run, the big guy that can run. He's put on 21 pounds since January, since he's been here. He's gotten stronger, faster. He's got a live arm. He's still learning a lot, but very impressive to see him out there running around and making plays. But that is a highly contested room. And you got to take your hat off to those 2 older guys you think about, that's been playing a lot of ball, Ben and Emory, and really love their competitive spirit and the way they've been competing. So they've both been really good.
When you do go, Scott, back to look at the film of this and evaluate the quarterbacks, what would you be looking to most from what you're watching from them and their performance today?
Yeah, we're obviously tracked and charted everything. We're charting completion percentage, decision making, any kind of mental errors, turnovers, also accuracy. We got a rating system for every ball they throw. So we're charting that. So as you go back and look at the body of work, we're going to see kind of how they stand and how they've done. And then also, then you go take account of all the other things. What kind of leadership skills are they possessing? Are they bringing others with them? And all those type things that you want as a quarterback, because the quarterback, they do so much. Not just making plays, but they obviously can help lead your team and rally your team. So we're looking at every aspect of it. It's a great battle right now because I think those guys both have been putting on some very good performances throughout the whole spring practice.
How are you balancing the play calling for a dual threat guy like Emory as opposed to a more traditional passer like that?
Yeah, I mean, within our offense over the years, I mean, I've had quarterbacks that can run. I mean, I've had guys rush for over 1,000 yards. I've also had guys that really didn't run at all. And so what we have to do is whatever their strengths are, then that's the plays that we're going to try to let them do. Obviously, as Ben's in the game, you're going to do a little bit more keeping him in the pocket and letting him use what he can do, which is that live arm that he has. He's really good at that. And then obviously Emery can do a little bit more with his legs, getting outside. A guy like Drogosh, you may do even more, or Prater, you may even do them more because those guys have great athletic ability to be able to make plays. So it really comes down to whoever's in, we'll cater the offense more toward that. And I've had quarterbacks in the past where one is a really good runner, one is not, and they both play the same game. It's just all about how you call the plays and, when they're in there.
What does a day like today tell you about how much progress you and your staff have made in whatever it's 4 months?
It's really exciting to see from day one when you don't even know anybody's name out there and then try to come in and start practice and start putting in offense, defense, special teams. I think it's been great progress. I've done transitions before. I've had to do it. This has been the smoothest that I've ever had as a coach coming in here. I give credit to our players. From day one, they're sitting on the edge of the seat in their meeting rooms. All right, coach, give it to us. We're going to take it. We're going to go out there and run with it. And they've been able to do it. They've been great with that. At every position, every team meeting, you don't have to worry about that. Those guys are coming to work every day. And so that part of it's been awesome. And for us, we put in a lot of defense and a lot of offense over the course of 15 days. And to their credit, they've been able to handle a lot of it and not look like they don't know what's going on. I mean, that's the thing that, not to say there weren't any mistakes today, there were, but they kind of look like they know what they're doing out there, which is awesome to see. Because I've been a part of some spring, scrimmages like this where, man, it's hard to do anything. And so I give credit to our players with that, our coaching staff.
With the nature of what spring games are now, what and how much are you actually able to learn from today?
Yeah, for us, we didn't split up and do teams. I've done that in the past, and I haven't done it very much, though. I find as coaches and as players of the team, we become better as a team when we, stick with our units that we have, offense and defense, ones versus ones, twos versus twos, so good versus good. And let's let those guys go out and compete and get better with each other. I mean, you've seen it every day. So we'll go back. There's a lot we're going to learn from this. We're going to see because there's no coaches on the field. Those guys are out there. Because in practice, your coach may stand right behind the guy and kind of help him out and tell him, we're yelling on the sideline. They couldn't even hear us. I mean, it was a good atmosphere out here today. So those guys had to do it. It tells you what they know and don't know. And that's kind of what we'll learn from this.
Barry Jackson has a really big day today.
Yeah, he
so
did.
He led the team in catches and targets from my view. Does that shock you at all from what he's done this spring?
Barry, to me, is probably from day 1 to day 15 the most improved of spring. Particularly for a guy who just got here in January. I mean, he's a true freshman. He's supposed to be getting ready for his prom right now. And he's out here catching touchdowns in a spring game. And he's had to get a lot of reps. At the slot for us and learn a whole lot. So I give him a ton of credit, man. There's days you look at him, you don't know what's going on, but he's out there getting it done. And I would say the last 4 or 5 practices, the light's really going off, and he's really starting to get it. And then today, incredible catches today. The touchdown was an unbelievable catch. Then he made one on that same drive on the sideline. That was a great catch. DB's all over him. He's really grown up a lot in a short period of time. I mean, he's certainly will be a guy that we'll be able to use in the fall. That maybe we didn't know we were or not, as early in the spring, and now you're starting to look at it. Oh man, he's gonna make us play him, which is what you want. That's awesome credit for Barry.
Especially at quarterback, you mentioned they get off till late. Do you have any kind of a debrief, whether with Ben and Emery about that role or just any of the spots on the roster?
Yeah, I mean, no, we're gonna bring our all guys in next week. We're gonna have one-on-one meetings, position coaches with the players, and really talk about strengths, weaknesses, how they've done. Things they can do better, all those things. Let's come up with a plan as we head throughout the summer to things that they need to work on. Also, there's going to be conversation, obviously, for guys. Hey, where do you see your future at right now? Is it going to be a Bearcat, or do you see it as I need to go play somewhere else? Those are real conversations we have to have now. It goes without saying, we hate it. Coaches hate it across the country. It's the world we're living in, so we gotta embrace it. And so let's have open and honest dialogue with every player at every position. And where we see them at right now, and then let's see what happens. See where we go. you know, I as a coach, I want to do what's best for Cincinnati Bearcat football. I mean, that's first and foremost, and whatever we can do to help our program. And if a player thinks that he doesn't see himself in the mix, then we'll help him go somewhere else. I want guys that want to be here, that want to be fully bought in, and really come and help us win a Big 12 championship, and that's what it's all about. So we'll have those conversations this coming week before they have their exams the following week. So, you know, this is always a little bit nervous time, I think, for coaches. You know, when you get to this, I've already seen, because today's the first day the portal's open, I've already seen some names that are flashing across there. So we'll see. You know, that remains to be seen.
Now you played 5, 6 running backs today. Like, what can you say about how each running back performed today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously go back and watch the film and see. I thought they did this all spring. They ran hard. You know, those guys breaking tackles. You know, several of them. You know, good, hard, tough runs that you're going to have. Like I said, against a really good defensive front. There's a lot of those guys that can catch the ball in the backfield that we'll like to be able to utilize those talents. You know, right now we feel good that we can rotate some running backs in there. You know, I don't know that there's one that's just separating themselves among the rest. I think, you know, right now it'd be a little bit by committee if we had to play a game today. But I do think they're going to get chances. They're going to get opportunities in this offense to be able to move and carry the football. And, you know, whoever's going to continue to rise to the occasion will be the guy. You know, and if a guy's got a hot hand, he'll be the guy. You know, we're pulling for all of them. You know, we'll see how that works out. But you know, obviously they have some different talents among the group. You know, but we'll see how that works out as we get toward August.
For the success that you have had with teams running the football, what is it that you look for when you're like, that's my RB1, that's the guy we're going to give the ball to?
Well, goes without saying, you got to know what to do, right? I mean, you know, a couple times today we had some guys going the wrong way and those type things. But I think more than anything, it's the vision within our zone scheme. You got to be able to see the cuts and make those cuts, and then it's got to be, you got to be able to have that vision and that balance. You know, so if you got the vision and you can get through. Now when a guy comes to tackle, you got to be able to stay up and, you know, use that third leg right there with that arm down on the ground and continue those moves. We also we tell our backs, we'll get you to the safety. Now it's up to you. You got to make him miss. You either run through him, run around him. Today we got him to the safety a few times. They're getting knocked down a few times with that. When I've had the special ones, they make that safety miss and then they go. You know, that's when you get the ones that are getting the huge yards, and those are the special ones. So, you know, we're always looking for those type. And, you know, but I think we got some solid backs here, the guys that can move the chains.
One more for Coach.
We talked to you earlier in the week about Jawan on the outside there. He made a lot of plays today. What did you see from him on that outside? Think he's getting a little bit more comfortable in that role on the outside of that defensive line?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he certainly can help us. You know, I think he brings a lot of power, a lot of speed, a lot of tenacity at that position. You know, he's going to continue to get better. Also, I think you know you know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is continued development of our guys, and those are the things we'll work on as we have those meetings, and then all summer long. You know, our coaches will be around all summer. We're going to critique everything. We want to be on defense a defense that's going to get after the offense. Like, we want to be aggressive. We want to be able to get and cause problems in the backfield, create those turnovers, create those sacks, those negative plays. Obviously, they win football games, and so we'll continue to press that.
Cool. Thank you,
All
Coach.
right, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.